Mr Scott.
Chair, I rise as a member of the Finance and Expenditure Committee, and I'd like to make a few comments this afternoon on the prudent and measured expenditure that is in this estimates. Because, Mr Chair, we talk about results rather than the amount of money that we spend. So we're talking about results in low crime rates, the best in the last 30 years, higher employment and low numbers that are not in education, employment or training. So, Mr Speaker, the opposition have spoken about real increases in the budgeted amounts. And in some cases, they're right. There has not been real increases in expenditure because, as I say, we're prudent about the amount of money we spend. On average, we're spending around $1.5 billion of new money in the last few years. The opposition, on the other hand, have spent almost triple that over the last few years in government. So again, a demonstration of the measured expenditure, the targeted expenditure that we focus on this side of the House. And because we're targeted, we focus on those that are most in need. And that's important because, of course, if we focus on those that are most in need, the incremental increase in productivity, if you like, is greatest for the person, for the family, for the community, and that improves the economy at a household level, increases the productivity of that household and that community, contributing to the surpluses that we are seeing, and a modest expectation of a surplus this year, the following year, and growing surpluses down the track. Mr Chair, to focus on those that most in need also, and we've had discussion in the committee around the balance sheet, focusing on those $1 million kids. So if we can spend $1 today to improve the productivity, if you like, of that individual, then that has flow-on effects, that has ripple-down effects, and it will save the taxpayer at the end of the day. If you can keep one of the $1 million kids out of the system, out of the social welfare loop, out of prison, away from SIFs, that saves the taxpayer $1 million. So we're not just talking about surpluses, we're not just talking about short-term costs and revenues, we're talking about the long-term balance sheet effect that this budget will have in the future. And that's important because, of course, if we can manage the balance sheet appropriately, it decreases the pressure that would have been on the taxpayer of the future. Now, Mr Speaker, these are in the financial worlds is uncertain times. We've had Brexit, and we're not just talking about GFC. We've had recent issues of negative interest rates, something that is unheard of. You pay a bank to look after your money rather than receive interest on that money that you deposit. So we're dealing with extremely unusual circumstances. We're talking about negative interest rates, we're talking about the possibility of deflation, importing deflation. But thankfully, this economy is a robust economy. This economy has greater flexibility and resilience than ever before. This economy has people that understand the economies of the world. They understand the situation they're in, and they understand the need for prudent expenditure on their behalf by the government. Now, Mr Speaker, the projections going forward are very conservative. The surpluses that are projected are very conservative because they expect, for example, a relatively rapid decrease in net immigration from around 70,000 that we have today to around 12,000 in only 3 years' time. Now, Mr Speaker, that net immigration is a nice problem to have. It is a problem that is, talked about as a problem from the opposition, but is a nice problem to have. So just imagine, Mr Speaker, that we have let's just say the Minister has a corner shop dairy which sells a lamb chop, a pint of milk and a bottle of wine. And it's such good lamb, and it's such fantastic milk, and it's the best wine in the world, that people come.
Stuart Nash.